Begin on your stomach and lift up your abs and your hips so that you're on your elbows and your feet in a plank. You want to squeeze your thighs really tight and keep your hips the same level as your shoulders. This is the advanced core balance workout, so get ready for a good workout. If it's too hard for you, feel free to go down to intermediate, but if you're ready for a challenge, this is it. You're almost done with the plank, ready for the next exercise in 3 seconds. Now you're going to keep your hands in the same position, but twist your legs so that your feet are stacked directly on top of each other. So you have this twist in the torso and the hips, and everything else is the same. So you're keeping the hips the same height as the shoulders, thighs are tight, and you have that twist so that the right foot is on top of the left, both thighs tight, looking straight down in between your hands. Just a few more seconds, then we're going to switch sides. Go ahead and switch to the other side of the twist plank. Thighs tight, left foot directly on top of the right, looking straight in between the hands. This is great for the oblique muscles on the side of your torso. Great to give you more balance throughout that torso. So we're doing the front plank, the 2 twist planks. Next up, we have 1 more plank on the side. You have just about 5 more seconds, and then you'll be ready for that one. Okay, now go to one hand. Now you're directly to the side. The top hand is straight up. Now if you want here, if you have any wrist issues, you can go down to your right elbow. That's fine, no problem there. The main thing is that you have a straight line from your shoulders all the way down the hips, knees, and into the ankles. You're just holding this stable on one side, using the shoulder muscles, the obliques, the hips, the legs. Try to make it look easy. Now go ahead and switch. Make it look easy, meaning you don't want to shake too much. If somebody were to watch you, they would think you were a statue, just not moving at all. Just about done, almost done with this side, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise. You're almost done, good job. Hold it strong in your statue, make it look easy. Make sure you're still breathing. Oxygen is a good thing when you're trying to do strenuous exercises. And now one of my personal favorites, the core roll. You're going to start in a Superman position, and then without using your hands or your arms, and without using your feet or your legs, you're going to roll over to your back, and then roll over to your stomach. When you first start doing this, you may have to use your hands or your feet at first, but just remember that the goal is to move away from those assistance exercises. So you're not pressing with the hands or with the feet. Eventually, it's all your core, so your hips, your torso, and a little bit in your shoulders as well. This exercise gets really hard really quickly, so just be aware of your form, especially in your legs. So as your knees start to drop down toward the floor, just raise them up a little bit. Remember, you don't want your legs or your arms touching at all during the entire exercise. Slow and controlled all the way over, and then all the way back. You don't want to just force yourself over. You don't want to use momentum or any kind of jarring or jerking motion. You want to keep this slow and steady. Just roll over and then roll back. As far as being functional, this is a very functional movement for your day-to-day. If you're laying down reading a book or something and you need to roll over quickly, you'd be surprised how quickly you can do it once you master the core roll. You're just about done, about 5 more seconds, then we're going to move on. Onto your push-up position. Now you're going to go down. Now you're going to walk forward in the bottom position of the push-up. Notice how we're using the ankles here. The knees are actually straight. So I'm walking, staying low to the ground. Because of the camera angle here, I'm just going forward and back, although you can just go forward if you want. If you have more of a straightaway, that's fine. Almost done here. At first, you may not be able to get down this low. That's okay. Eventually, you'll get down lower and lower. Now go all the way down to your belly, bring your knees wide, and point your feet straight up to the ceiling, and then lift your hands up just a couple inches off the floor, and then you're going to make a side lateral raise motion. So bring the hands down to the hips, and then back up over the head, down to the hips, back to the head. So your knees are off the floor, and they're wide. They're between 1 and 2 feet apart, your knees are. And then now go ahead and bend your knees a little bit more so your shins are directly up and down. So as you get tired here, you're going to feel the muscles on the outside of the hip, probably in the glute area, Keep squeezing the glutes so that the knees come up off the floor, and keep your hands up off the floor. This is going to be pretty demanding after doing that alligator crawl and the core roll previous to that. Stick to it. Keep your knees up. Squeeze your glutes. Press your hips into the floor. You're almost done. About 10 more seconds or less. Keep those arms going. Keep the elbows straight. And now flip over to your back. Press your lower back into the floor and lower your legs down, keeping your knees straight and your thighs tight. And now your hands can be anywhere between down toward your hips, or you can raise them like this up over your head. The more over your head you raise them, the harder it gets. So just like the plank position, make this one look easy. Make it look like you're a statue, like you're not even moving. It creates a lot of internal work to keep that external, that visual, looking like you're doing nothing. So work hard to make it look easy. That's number one goal here. Press your lower back into the floor. At first though, you may have to start with your feet pointed up more toward the ceiling. That's okay. Gradually you'll be able to lower it down, down, down toward the floor as your abs get stronger and more capable of creating that intense contraction. And now cross your right ankle over your left knee. Lift your left knee up toward you without using your arms, and then twist over to your left so that the bottom of the right foot and the outside of the left leg touch the floor right here, and then rotate back up. So you're going to twist down, rotate back up. One thing you want to pay attention to in this one is that your shoulders are down toward the floor. They're pressing down into the floor. Your hands are pressing into the floor. And especially as you twist to the left. As you twist left, your right shoulder is probably going to want to come up, especially if your torso is tight. So just really work on keeping that shoulder down as you twist down. You want to keep that left knee pulled in toward you as you're pushing the right knee away. And then maintaining that neutral position in the chest and the shoulders. Just about done with this side. And then in about 5 seconds, we're going to switch to the other side. Good. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Remember, you're crossing the left ankle over the top of the right knee, pulling the right knee toward you, and then you're going to twist down to your right. And now during this one, you want to keep that left shoulder flat on the floor even as you twist. Notice the tendency for your left shoulder to want to come up, and just correct it. Just push your left shoulder down to the floor. Also, just kind of notice if one side was maybe easier than the other. That may be a sign of a disparity between the left and right side of the hip, or in the torso, or even up in the shoulders. So just kind of be aware of that, and as you do this more and more, repeat this video in the next coming weeks or month. Just be aware of that and notice your improvement. It's very important to notice your improvement, otherwise you start to wonder what you're actually doing. But in reality, you are improving, and you want to make note of those improvements. You want to know where you've been, but you also want to keep your goals in sight. Just about done with this hip twist. And we're on the last exercise already. On your stomach, lift up your hands, lift up your feet. Superman. Press your hips into the floor, squeeze your glutes. Excellent work today. You are just about done. About 10 more seconds. Squeeze your glutes, lift up a little higher, and you are all done. So do another video if you're ready for it. Otherwise, we will see you again tomorrow. Keep up the good work.